very good Thursday morning, everyone. I'm Scott Stanford. Hey, sounds like there could be a deal between Ford and the United Auto Workers Union.
It's a tentative deal that still needs approval from Ford's 57,000 union members. It would include a 25% pay raise over 4 years, plus cost of living raises. Lowest paid workers would get a raise of over 150%. Ford had initially offered 9% pay raises. Now the question is, will the deal spur similar ones at the other two automakers that have workers out on strike at GM and Stellantis? Alex Stone, ABC News.
Well, the 4-year deal still needs to get approval from the union's 57,000 members. President Biden said this tentative agreement is a testament to the power of employers and employees coming together to work out their differences at the bargaining table. Wins News Time, 7:31 here on what is going to be a gorgeous Thursday. But how's that commute, Sue Allen?
Not gorgeous, I can tell you that. It is not pretty at all. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George, that is 45. The inbound Lincoln is also 45, but here's the clincher. The outbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel, we now have about a 20 to 25 minute delay because there's an accident on 40th Street and Dyer Avenue. 2 center lanes are closed. This is right by the outbound Lincoln, so that's what's causing a big mess over here. Inbound Holland, that's the best of the 3. That's about a 30-minute delay, and traffic is sponsored by the Barnes firm. Now, you're also jammed in Staten Island eastbound on the expressway with a 2-car collision at Bradley Avenue. The delays will then continue all the way to the Verrazano Bridge, and then once you're in Brooklyn, the eastbound belt slows down by Flatbush Avenue. We do have reports of a stall. In New Jersey, watch out for a debris spill, and this is northbound on Route 17 at Sheridan Avenue in Waldwick. They have the center lane blocked. You want to go with Saddle River Road as your alternate. In a jam, call the Barnes Firm traffic tip line at 844-JAM-1010. That's 844-JAM-1010. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones and breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Sue Aller, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible.
The Barnes Firm. Injury attorneys. Call 1-800-8-million.
Manhattan, Long Island. More of this beautiful weather, Dean DeVore. Don't take it away from us, ever.
You're a poet and you don't know it. More from DeVore. Yeah, look, we're going to get 3 more days of this. Temperatures upper 70s today and tomorrow. The record today is 78, so we'll flirt with that. The record tomorrow is a little warmer, up to 82. It might be a tough sell to get there, although I think Saturday's record at 83 may be something we have to watch. I think we're going to get around 80. So 3 more days of this, then a change day on Sunday with a front moving through. Still some questions about how fast that front moves. So we got a couple of shower possibilities, whether they're all day or just mainly in the afternoon. Temperatures being the 60s to near 70, and then it's much chillier as we get into next week. Still in the low 60s, couple of showers as a true front moves through during the day on Monday. And then next week, there's days that may be hard-pressed to get to 50 on a few occasions. Right now, we're well above that to start. 66 on our way up to a nice 78. Enjoy today. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Staples stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers, and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store. Wins News Time, 7:33. Police on Staten Island detailing a bizarre attempted robbery. They say 56-year-old Derek Jones allegedly doused a woman with water, shoved her head in his lap, and then told her, quote, "I'm the devil and I'm going to harm you." Authorities say it happened at the Staten Island railway station in Stapleton back on October 3rd. The 32-year-old victim says Jones followed her up the stairway to the platform, then onto the train where he grabbed the water out of her backpack, poured it over her head, and then pushed her head into his lap. Jones was arrested last week, finally, and police found a crack pipe in his pocket. A New York congressman is working to make sure firefighters, first responders, and their families receive full federal benefits.
The Honoring Our Fallen Heroes Act would classify cancer deaths due to carcinogenic exposure as line-of-duty deaths and extend disability benefits to firefighters whose cancers make them unable to work.
We just think it's really important that we support our firefighters who put themselves on the line and make sure that they get adequate health care and adequate treatment for their line of duty illnesses.
New York Congressman Dan Goldman, a co-sponsor of the bipartisan bill, points out that firefighters are nearly 200% more likely to develop some form of cancer. Marla Diamond, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Okay, it's done. House Speaker is in the House. Took 3 weeks, but Republican Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson is the guy. Mr. Johnson was quickly sworn into office, President Biden applauding the move.
The 51-year-old Johnson is an evangelical Christian, former conservative radio talk show host, and in just his 4th term in Congress, the least experienced speaker in decades. But he managed to unite both the hard right and establishment flanks of the party, who fought bitterly over who should lead.
Very good.
Democrats railed against Johnson, a staunch ally of former President Trump, who helped lead a congressional push to overturn the 2020 election results.
That's Nicole Killian reporting. Wins News Time 7:35. There's Eminem. Got to turn the dial up, Scott. Eminem's got something new out today, but it isn't music. And it's very saucy. 1010 Wins Entertainment's coming up next. I said saucy.
Exergen thermometers are proven.
He said saucy. Well, today is October 26th, 2023. Back again with another driving and the news video. Please know that the purpose of this video is not necessarily to entertain. It's not exciting. And we don't get much views on these particular videos. But that's okay. The purpose of this video is not necessarily to get a bunch of views in real time. Really, the purpose of this video is just for it to be there on YouTube for future generations to be able to go back and check them out if they choose to. So our history is very important, and the internet does record the big stuff, the big news. The internet, for the most part, does not record the small local news for any particular area. And by that I mean, if a passenger gets hit, sadly, by a vehicle, a hit and run, let's say a cyclist, let's say in New York or whatever, and they capture the perpetrator, that particular story, while it's news here in the New York Metropolitan area, not necessarily national news. So even those can get lost to history. Maybe a grand opening of Hinchliffe Stadium here in Paterson, New Jersey. Something like that may not. Ooh, wait, is this?
To your kitchen. Mom's spaghetti sauce is dropping 1026, and by all accounts, 1026 is today.
Oh, that's Eminem's
Good
thing.
news is no more Chef Boyardee for me. I like that.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
New revelations from the Fonz. Henry Winkler, who played the iconic Arthur Fonzarelli on the hit show Happy Days, says that the script table reads on Mondays were humiliating for him because he suffered from dyslexia, but he didn't know it. In his new memoir, Being Henry, The Fonz and Beyond, Winkler says he wasn't diagnosed with dyslexia until he was 31, when Happy Days was well into its 11-season run.
Rockin' and rollin' all the time.
The Center's Plan for Healthy Living is a Medicare Advantage plan.
Yeah, so like I was saying, that a lot of the local news, even the positive local news, may get lost to history. You know, maybe a charity run somewhere for a specific cause that happened in a certain neighborhood. You know, things like that that will be reported here on 1010 Wins may not be something you can find 20 years from now or 30 years from now, because it's not national news.
Bruce. Hey there. He's a busy soccer.
Pretty soon we'll be hitting the 740 headlines, and that'll do it for this video.
On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app.
So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC. Hey, check this out. If you own a small business, just go to 1010wins.com/challenge. We can reward you with $10,000. $10,000. That's 1010wins.com/challenge.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. It's 60 degrees at 7:40 on this Thursday, October 26th. I'm Scott Stanford. Here's what's happening. Awful tragedy in Maine. Police are on the hunt for a shooter who killed at least 20 people at a bar and then a bowling alley in Lewiston. Hamas says Israeli airstrikes have killed at least 6,500 in Gaza while Israel goes in and out of Gaza on the ground. Hold on to your jewelry. NYPD looking for a group of thieves on mopeds cruising the city and snatching valuables from people on the street. The judge in Donald Trump's civil fraud trial slaps the former president with another fine.
This is how we do.
Oh, no, you mean this is how we brew it. Coffee drinkers, check this. Research says more coffee, not less, is better for you. Checking sports, opening night for the Knicks. They lost to the Celtics. Same for the Nets with a 1-point loss to the Cavs. NHL, Devils lose to the Capitals. AccuWeather. Wow, what a day. Sunny skies. Looking to tie that record of 78 degrees today. Welcome back to the summer, my friends. Let's get into the roads. Winds News Time, 7:41. Traffic and transit on the ones. What do you see, Sue Allen?
I see lots of cars out there on the roads. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound George Washington Bridge is 45 outbound, about a 10 to 15 minute delay. Now inbound Lincoln is also 45 and outbound. Delays have eased out. We had an accident in New York on 40th Street at Dyer Avenue, but again, that has been cleared. So a little bit of good news for you there. Now inbound Holland Tunnel, that is the best of the bunch. That's coming in at 35 minutes. Now we're also jammed in Staten Island eastbound on the expressway, and that's from 440 all the way out to the Brooklyn bound Verrazano Bridge. Along the way at Bradley Avenue, you do have a multi-vehicle accident, and then in Brooklyn on the Belt Parkway eastbound, looks like we had a crash right by Flatbush Avenue, but that does look just about cleared away. Also busy in Brooklyn on the BQE, and that's both ways, and that is by Atlantic Avenue, and again both ways over the Kosciuszko Bridge. Remember, you have that eastbound construction. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. The southern westbound slows down right by the Wantagh Parkway all the way to the Meadowbrook, and then the westbound northern is really slow from the LIE connector into your Queens line. Then pockets of volume on the LIE westbound from about the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway all the way into your Queens line as well. I'm Sue Aller. Next report at 7:51. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, the city of Lewiston, Maine, the site last night of a mass shooting, which took place in at least 2 locations. They say between 16 and 20 people have reportedly been killed, with dozens more injured. There is a suspect still on the loose.
Police identified Robert Card as a person of interest. Authorities say he has a history of military service, is a firearms instructor, and was treated at a mental health facility over the summer after allegedly saying that he was hearing voices. Police were looking for Card overnight, triggering a shelter-in-place order in Lewiston and neighboring Lisbon, Maine, where police say they found white Subaru they were looking for throughout the night. The car seen with the door open and lights on. Police as far south as New Hampshire setting up roadblocks.
Correspondent Rhiannon Alley. Mike Sawchuk is the commissioner for the Department of Public Safety in Maine. He says Robert Card is still out there. He's that person of interest, and asking anyone who may see Card to call 911 immediately.
There are multiple scenes in the city, to include multiple hospitals, multiple follow-ups, a lot of witnesses we're speaking with, and a lot of leads. The general public has been very cooperative and very forthcoming with information.
One of those locations where the shooting went down, a bowling alley called Just in Time Recreation. Kids competing in a youth bowling league when the shots started to ring out around 7 p.m. Riley Dumont and her 11-year-old daughter were there, and they're both okay, fortunately.
I see a lot of the good in people in this world. Like, I give everybody a chance, and this is something that will change me and my daughter's life forever.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on my commute to work as we record history by listening to snippets of the news. We'll see you on the next video.